Hello everyone. In this demo, I'll show you Amazon GuardDuty's extended threat detection capability and how it helps you identify sophisticated attacks across your EC2 infrastructure and ECS clusters running on EC2 or Fargate. Extended threat detection is a completely free feature that is on by default for all the customers. First, let me quickly explain what GuardDuty is. Amazon GuardDuty is a threat detection service that continuously monitors your AWS environment using machine learning, anomaly detection, and threat intelligence. It analyzes data from VPC flow logs, DNS logs, CloudTrail events, S3 data plane events, EKS audit logs, Aurora login events, Lambda network activity, and runtime monitoring to identify malicious activities happening in your account. Next, let me dive into extended threat detection. GuardDuty sees a lot of traffic, and we understand that security issues are often not one-off events. For example, an attack might start with a port probe finding, then we might see enumeration findings, followed by impact and data exfiltration findings, and so on. These are all actually one security issue. Extended threat detection correlates related security events across time and resources to show you the complete attack story. Instead of seeing dozens of individual findings, you get a single comprehensive attack sequence that answers who, what, when, and from where. Specifically, it shows what actors are involved, when and how the attack unfolded over time, which resources were affected, the tactics and techniques used by the attacker, and the full scope of the compromise. Now let me show you a real attack sequence that was detected using our EC2 malicious domain simulation. Here we can see an attack sequence for EC2 compromised instance group finding with critical severity. This indicates that GuardDuty detected a coordinated attack across one or multiple EC2 instances. Let's examine the finding description in detail. The description tells us this was a sequence of actions involving 36 signals indicating a potential compromise of EC2 instance group that occurred between specific timestamps. This immediately tells us the scale and time frame of the attack and what resources were impacted. Notice how it provides key evidence. Affected instance group. It shows this was an auto-scaling group called My Demo Reinvent ASG Prod. Affected instances. We can see 12 specific instance IDs that were compromised. Minor tactics observed. 3 tactics: exfiltration, impact, and command and control. Minor techniques observed: exfiltration over C2 channel, application layer protocol, and resource hijacking. Now let's look at the resources. This is where extended threat detection really shines. Instead of going through those 36 signals for each instance, extended threat detection intelligently grouped them because they belong to the same launch type. In this case, an auto-scaling group. This resource grouping helps you understand that this isn't a random individual compromise. It's a coordinated attack on your application infrastructure. The grouping algorithm considers factors like auto-scaling group. And if we don't have this context awareness, it will also consider IAM instance profile, launch template, CloudFormation stack, VPC ID, and AMI ID. Now let's look at the malicious domain activity, the DNS queries to these domains. These domains are tagged as Amazon test domain, indicating they are part of our simulation, but in a real attack, you would see the actual threat intelligence sources and reputation data. Now in the resources section, you can also look at the individual instance details. For each affected instance, you get granular details like instance metadata, instance type, ARMY details, availability zones. Then you have network information like public IP address or ENI details. And you can look at the tags of this EC2 instance, showing the CloudFormation stack information, auto-scaling group name as well. This level of detail helps you understand exactly what was compromised and what access the attacker potentially gained. Now let's quickly go back and check the actor and process information. GuardDuty also identifies the specific process involved in this attack. The process name was ISC worker. The process path was user bin dig, and the SHA-256 hash for forensic analysis. This tells us the attack used the dig command, which is commonly used for DNS queries, consistent with the malicious domain communications we observed. This is another attack sequence explaining the compromised ECS cluster. The description of this sequence clearly tells you that the 3 signals indicated a potential compromise of your ECS cluster. The resources section of this particular sequence shows you the cluster details and the low-level task details as well For example, the ARN of the task, the launch type, as well as the container level detail. What you have seen demonstrates the power of extended threat detection. You get all the benefits like reduced alert fatigue. Instead of hundreds of individual findings, you get one comprehensive attack sequence. Second, the complete attack context. You see the full story from initial compromise to abuse such as data exfiltration attempts. Then you have the intelligent EC2 resource grouping. Understand which applications and infrastructure components are affected based on group details. You have actionable intelligence like clear MITRE attack mapping and detailed forensic information, and you can respond faster. All the information you need to contain and remediate the threat is in one place. This enables your security teams to prioritize and focus on real threats to respond more effectively to sophisticated attacks across your AWS environment. Extended threat detection support for EC2 transforms how you detect and respond to advanced threats in your AWS EC2 infrastructure. Remember, it is free and on by default. To get the most out of extended threat detection, we encourage you to look into GuardDuty optional protection plans such as EC2 and ECS runtime monitoring. To learn more about its capabilities, visit the AWS documentation or contact your AWS solutions architect. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.